Hey, how's it going? So today I'm going to talk about the Machinist. Man, I kept doing that over and over. I made my little notes or whatever, and I actually posted it to WordPress because it doesn't read like notes. Um, but I will put it in the link to it in the information box. So I'm going to talk about some things that I didn't talk about in the WordPress, and that was more details about what I was thinking about with the method actors. And so, like, a combination of things got me thinking about it. I talk about why I ended up watching The Machinist. I started out, was going to make a video about Amsterdam, which is Christian Bale's latest movie that's out on HBO. And I still want to do that. But before I did it, I was just feeling kind of sluggish and, I don't know, like unmotivated. Like it was just hard to get rolling on anything. And then I finally realized that the reason why I couldn't really get started was because I felt like I had like pieces missing from the puzzle, kind of. So I watched more Christian Bale movies, and that kind of helped. So, but I talk about that more in the written piece. But one of the things I didn't talk about in the written piece was the feelings that I had about Christian Bale that were kind of like, I don't even know how to really put it. He was coming across because of something that happened that the world got to see, basically. So, but we only got to see a piece of it. So if you can recall, I don't remember what movie he was working on at the time, but he was on the set, like working, like doing a scene, and somebody that worked on the production crew, like walked through or made some kind of noise or something, and Christian Bale, like flipped the flip out. But, see, we didn't know really much about it I didn't know that much about it until I watched it, until I saw a TMZ report on it. And it was like somebody had turned in leaked video of part of him freaking out. And they laughed, I laughed, and the reason I thought it was funny was because it reminded me of someone that's really drunk, and then they get very proper and declarative and high blown. I don't know, but I don't think he was drunk because he was working, right? So he just came off really bad. He was like cursing the person out, and it just became this whole thing, and it was just overblown and kind of operatic even, and funny. But you when I say you, I mean me. After a while, you realize that like maybe dude had something going on, right? And so I'm not sure how many years later it is now from that incident, but the impression of it stayed with me, and it wasn't good because I think he's fabulous as an actor. I love many of his movies, and it didn't like put me off the way some performances have. And I'm talking about performances I really enjoyed that were really effective. And I can, the highest praise I guess I can give it is that it like made me not want to see the actor for a while. Like I was so struck by it that I was like, I need some time in the sanitarium after that. But this wasn't that with him. It was just kind of like it reminded me of Bill O'Reilly and that infamous clip from Current Affairs where he's all, F it, I'll do it live, F it, like just freaking out. And I thought, I had other reasons to find him off-putting, O'Reilly, and then I saw recently, between now and the stuff I'm talking about, So I saw the current affair clip years ago, and then recently I saw a clip of Lawrence O'Donnell that's on MSNBC that comes across like very nice and calm, and something happened in his ear or in the studio or something, and he just flipped out, like got so mad. I was like, you gotta get that mad about it? Um, I don't know what's happening with those people. So after that, the Christian Bale like movies come up, and I'm thinking about doing it. And I'm back to where I started in my story there, but I saw a YouTube video on. I think it was one of those GQ things where they talk about all of their movies or whatever. I can't remember the title. It's like a franchise title, but he starts talking about that day when he like got all mad on set at that person, and what he said, of course, made me see it in a different light. No, of course, that's getting ahead of myself. But he was saying that, like all of them, they're kind of neurotic, nervous freaks. Like attention, they gotta have it, and I think he might be one of the ones that's like really cognizant of the fact that he needs the attention, but he hates the need or something. Because I don't know, it's just an impression. Did I stop it? Okay, I didn't stop it. So anyway, he was saying that he was like really worried about his performance, as he is with all of them, and he's really concerned with the quality of it, basically, and doing the story justice, and the director, and the whole production. Like he's really, I guess, felt like it was like all on his shoulders, and in a way, I guess it is for like the lead actor. Like it pretty much totally is, because not everybody's gonna know who and what like that comes after the whole film is over in the credits. So yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of is on his shoulders, and what he was feeling that day, I guess, was sort of some insecurity about his performance. And you hear actors talk about it all the time, like how they have the fright, and they work so hard, and it's like their existence, their being, they like take in this character and the story and become it. And like some method actors like Daniel Day-Lewis will like go home and like not stop being the character until the whole production is over. I mean, I don't even does he stop by the time the premiere happens when he has to do the press junkets. I think he did, but my thought about that was that sounds like a pain. That sounds like a pain of a person to be around. But that's their process, and what the hell do I know? Dude's very successful at it. So but I just kind of noticed this phenomena amongst actors that do the like dive into those roles, and it's not always that it's like quote unquote method, but I don't know. I mean, those are the ones that kind of get you inside. Man, I don't know what's going on with the light on this thing. Anyway, he had something going on that day, and there may have been something going on outside of whatever he was talking about that had to do with being on the set and in the production. Like he has a life too. So it just brought to mind something that I think we as people all need to sort of try to keep in mind with each other right now. And that is that, I think we can all agree that everybody's kind of like going through something, or near somebody going through something, or know of some things that will make us go through something. Like, I feel like it's a very emotional time. I've lost the cursor. Come on now. Well, anyway, we don't know, like, what's going on with other people, especially especially if we don't know the other individual, and we often fail to give them a little rope with that in mind. Like we're so ready to just jump on them and decide they're this, they're that. And it's funny sometimes, but it's also kind of sad because we'll take like eight sentences and turn it into World War III. It's like you won't even ever see this person again unless you get doxy with them, you know? So, but I guess for an actor, that's just all more stuff to cram into their kit for the next thing that resembles it that comes along. And I didn't really want to talk so much about this anymore. You know why I have that all like that? I did another video, and it like just a normal one where I talk about the movie instead of, well, as well as this pretty like in-depth review that I wrote that was like my notes, but it's a review basically, or my review, my kind. And I was undecided about whether or not to post that video. I mean, I still might. I would say if somebody asked to see it, but I don't have enough viewers, regular viewers or dedicated viewers that would ask me for anything. But I'm going to hang on to it, I think, because it's worth something. The reason why I didn't want to use it is because my hair was just like it is now, which is like, I washed it yesterday, and so it goes through, my hair goes through these stages of drying, and in that other one, it was in the almost all the way dry stage, but not, and I had just sat back and leaned on it and fell asleep, and it just is the bad time if you're me to lean on your hair, because that is the shape you will be stuck with until it gets wet again or you tie it down. It's a whole thing. So I don't always feel like doing all that. So this is almost the same thing, but this is dry. And I think it's fine because you're really, the focus is not supposed to be on what I'm looking like. I would really more prefer you to pay attention to what I'm talking about. So, I don't know. I mean, if someone wants to see that other video, just say so, and I will post it. And do I have more to say? Just kind of, I don't want to get charged for that. I'm just astounded about how the method actor will torture their body for a role, like to inhabit this story and this person to become it. I'd seen it before, of course. I haven't seen all the movies. I'm just going to go way back and talk about the first time I saw it, which was Robert De Niro in Raging Bull. And he's done it a few times, gone back and forth. I believe like Matthew McConaughey has done it. Jared Leto has done it. Wow. I mean, I hope it's worth it. But I'll tell you what, in The Machinist, especially in the scene when Trevor was teasing Stevie, like she was asking him about his body, very like from far away, I felt like, I was like, do you really want to know? I mean, you're like not even beating around the bush, you're like tiptoeing around the region. Like no one would just say, well, some people did finally, but no one that was supposed to be close to him. It's all very confusing because, and it was great kind of confusing because you just kind of weren't sure after a while what the hell was real. I'll admit, almost till the end, I wasn't sure if there was not real stuff and real stuff. Like, I just wasn't sure what the hell was going on. That's a mark of a fine picture right there. It's very effective. I got suckered in. Okay. I guess I just wanted to say hi too. Hi. Happy New Year. um, so I don't know if everyone else has been feeling this kind of sluggishness. I guess it's for where I am, like a seasonal thing. Like I don't really want to go out, and I don't know. I just want to huddle in my woman cave. I mean, I do like to go out, but it's a whole thing. You got to put on a bunch of clothes, and if the weather's doing something other than being cold and windy, then you got to think about being wet and cold. I don't know. What do you want? I'm from LA. I'm used to sunshine all the time. Well, I shouldn't still be used to it, but I think I am. But yeah, like just feeling kind of hard to get moving feet of clay, maybe brain of clay too. I am so grateful that, I mean, I'm so grateful that I don't have to do a 9 to 5, but the trade off, uh, I'm making it work. I don't even know if this is worth putting out, but um, just a final thing, I guess, about like the recent goings on in our nation's capital, where our Congress is trying to. Oh, I guess they chose a speaker. It's Monday today, the 9th of 2023, and the voting for Kevin McCarthy went longer than, I guess, on record, certainly longer than I can remember. I just wonder, like, what is the guy thinking? He gave everything away. He gave everybody the option to cut his legs out from under him. I would venture to say that none of them could be trusted. Like, I, I just feel like he's dealing with a bunch of things that blow in the wind and change their mind, and they're vindictive. So I don't know what he was thinking, Kevin McCarthy, especially like before Nancy Pelosi came in after Paul Ryan. Do you remember how Paul Ryan and John Boehner before him left their speakerships? How they left, why they left, what they had to say after they left, what they're saying now. Well, I don't know why. It's kind of like a gazelle leading a bunch of hyenas at this point, and it is just amazing that that's a job I wouldn't want anyway under really any circumstances, because I don't really want to be anyone's boss but my own. That many people, good grief, that would drive me crazy. And I feel like there's a lot of worry about what's going to happen, but I'm not too worried because they're already doing what every other shameful and appalling thing that came before when the previous guy was president. I've been waiting for years for something like to really come to a head and change people's minds for the better, please. Like the not fighting and hating and all of what's going on right now. But I guess we have to, like, some of us have to get that through our systems, and the rest of us are along for the ride. So, not get your popcorn. And, well, maybe buckle up, though. But I think that maybe we could do, like, a little less gloating about it, because what happens to other people is eventually going to rebound back our way. So, I don't know. I just had a vision of the squirrel hiding the nuts, and then, like, there's a fable where one doesn't want to hide the nuts and prepare for the future, and I feel like we just have to. I was talking to somebody earlier, and I was like, I don't think we can stop this particular ball that's rolling downhill from stopping. I think it has to do what it's got to do. With those people, got to do what they got to do, and those of us who are not in favor of the same stuff, like myself, I mean, I guess we just gotta wait and like pick up pieces because it seems like they're heading for damage toward themselves, and that's kind of why I'm not really too worried. Because I think that they're if they just continue the way they're going, there are people still in that camp that want a semblance of sanity in life. So I think they will have enough at some point of these really like explosive, inflammatory people and start siding with the Democrats. And I think that's how stuff will get done. I think the fighting people will be so busy fighting each other and fighting their own mistakes because a bunch of them were running around saying stuff that I thought they're going to be in trouble for that later, I think. So the balance of power, not too worried about it. Things happening bad for the country. I mean, such as they are, I'm not like really worried about it. I'm not happy about it, but I think that there's going to be some discomfort and some tussling amongst our legislators and, well, the public too, but we're not really in it. I guess I'm saying I think it's going to be okay. And really, if we just worry about our own stuff, and that's plenty. Like, we don't need to add, I don't need to add any kind of anxious energy to all of that that's going on. They got that handled. So I don't know. I'm going to play this back. I may not do anything with this recording either. Thanks for listening. Thank you and good night. Repetitive.